Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to remove and install the Ford Falcon FG Ute headliner. So there are several things that do change on these models, and it's mainly up between the two sun visors in the front center there. There may be an overhead sunglasses console or a dual map lights. That's pretty much all that changes on these models. So in today's video, I'm going to show you with the model that has the overhead sunglasses console, but they're pretty much the same setup on how to remove them. So with the fabric today, we are using our number 6 light oyster material, which matches perfectly to the original material. So it matches up to the pillars, the grab handles and the sun visors. So if you're after that material, just check the link below in the description. That's where all our fabric and glues and recommendations for all our products that we use will be all there available for you guys as well. As for how many meters you need for just the ute, you just need 1 meter. And yeah, with all that being said, make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel to help us grow, and let's get stuck into the video. So today we have a lineup of the Ford Falcons. We've got the AU, BA and BF series, also the FG, and that's what this video is about today. We will be working on the Ford Falcon FG model. This is the FPV with the sunglasses console, similar to the G6E style. So we start by reclining the two front seats where possible, lay that blanket down to protect the interior, and as you can see here, the headlining is in pretty bad condition. It's got a few bubbles here and there, but they also do start to sag at the front and rear as well, and you can see that it's ready to come down quite easily. And we start by taking the sun visors off. I do recommend that you should check the lights before you start, so just check the map lights to make sure that they're working, also that front console and the rear dome light. You can turn them on and off by using the switch on the dashboard as well. And those map lights can be quite temperamental. They can decide to work here and there, and then other times they just don't work. I think it's in the switch itself. So the tools that you would need for this job would be the Phillips head screwdriver. That's the one what we use to take off the sun visors just then, and also the T25 Torx head screwdriver and a flathead as well. Sometimes the grab handles on these cars, as you remove those screws, they can still be stuck with that little plastic locator, and you just got to use a bit of force to take the grab handle off. Then we move on to taking the sun visor clips off. They're just held in by the T25 little screw, and use the flathead screwdriver just to pop them off. Then we can focus on the rear section now. So that would be just those two little rear coat hanger hooks. You can use like a little upholstery skewer or maybe even a flathead screwdriver just to pop those two little caps off. And they're held in by those T25 screw heads. Also, those little caps that you do pop off, sometimes they do fall out of place, but yeah, no drama. You can just plug them back in at the installation stages. And then with those two clips off, we can then feed our hand fingertips underneath the back of the headlining board and just loosen those two clips off, and also that rear dome light comes off by just 4 plugs behind it. And then we flex the A pillar of the headlining board away from the A pillar, and also the back of the headlining board, just flex that away from the C pillars or the B pillars. And that's pretty much it. Now just make sure the headlining is not resting on the front rear view mirror, because the weight of the headlining board can potentially put too much pressure on that. And also here we'd probably just jump out of the front passenger seat and go around to the driver's seat, save the leaning across depending on your reach. I do probably suggest that you could even hold the headlining board back up underneath that B and C pillar. That way it will allow you, the headlining board, to not be resting on the rear view mirror, and you can pop out of that passenger seat and go around to the driver's seat, and then make you know, just get that remainder sun visor off, and then that way you can focus on that side instead. So in summary there guys, I would suggest that you take off the sun visors and the grab handles and all the plastic components before you start flexing the headlining board away from any pillars. It'll just make the job so much easier. So now we can drop down that seal slightly, flex the headlining board away from those A pillars, and on the front driver's side you will have the wiring harness kind of taped to the front section, so you just got to slightly peel that off. Make sure the A pillar on the driver's passenger side is also taken down. Flex it away from the rear B, C pillars. Slide your body out the car, and the headlining board won't completely rest on the seats yet because the wiring harness will be attached to it. So you just kind of got to support it while you take off the wiring, because you don't want to put too much pressure on the wiring harness itself. It might start to pull on certain areas or break any clips. So just slightly pull that wiring harness away. There's a bit of like insulation tape there just to remove out of the way. This one's got a clip that's holding in that little plug there that we just removed, and also there's a little speaker, the microphone hands free kit. You just got to remove. Take the rear dome light out, just slide it under the insulation there. Put everything on the floor well, that's where I like to keep it. Also with the lights turned off as well, so the globe doesn't get warm or turn on and burn any carpet. You just want to place it in a nice location, especially if you haven't got the lens cap on the globe itself. You don't want the lights to actually turn on accidentally and burn a seat or wherever you've been resting the globe itself. So just keep the lights off while you're taking this board in and out, and you should have no dramas there. So just got to unclip one more remaining section there, just plugs into the sunglasses console. On sedans, I would suggest you take out the sunglasses consoles while the board's in the car, but on utes you can just gently flex the board out the front passenger seat area, the front passenger door, and it will just come out nice and easy. It's better to do the sunglasses console removals while the board's out the car. The reason that I suggest you shouldn't do it on sedans, it's just because you got to flex the board a lot to get sedan boards out, and you don't want to be flexing the board while the sunglasses consoles are installed, because they get quite brittle and they could potentially break. Remove those. I do suggest to remove them by the handheld screwdriver and not the power drill, just because the power drill can have too much power, and you can these are already very brittle areas, so majority of the time you slightly take them out. Well, when you take them out, they've actually got like little hairline fractures in the actual plastic chambers where the screws go, and this one's got several on there already. So and that's just from factory, or maybe it's just from wear and tear over time. So if they're quite minor, I like to just drop a bit of super glue on the external side, not down where the thread goes, because then you're going to mess up the way the screw goes back in. So it's just on the external side, just something to reinforce it back in. We just use a bit of silicone spray as well when we were installing the new screws, or CRC, or just some dry lube, and that helps the screws, those 4 screws, go in much easier and without causing any tension on the little chambers and potentially breaking them. The installation is pretty much in reverse to the way we take it out. We just start by feeding the headlining board in the back section underneath those C and B pillars, and once that's done and all located into place again, we just push the headlining back as it can go, and then feed and flex those front sections of the headlining board underneath the A pillars. So in today's job we had the exchange ready, so we didn't show you the recovery stage, but if you're interested in what's involved in the recovery stage of a sagging headlining, we'll put a link below in the description, and that will take you to pretty much voted the best video by you guys, and pretty much what we recommend for you guys to watch, and it'll show you everything that's involved in recovering the job and replacing with brand new material, because that's pretty much how you have to fix these jobs. You cannot reuse the old material. There's several videos done on why that's pretty much a bad thing to do, because the foam behind the material has deteriorated and gone all orange and crumbly, you just don't want to be sticking the old material back on at all. The material that you will need for this job today would be the ones that we use for the Ford Falcon FGs is our number 6 light oyster material that we advertise for you guys. The stuff that we use daily. And for utes, you'd need a 1 meter cut. 1 meter will give you plenty of overhang. So you'll have like, the factory only cuts it straight to the edge, the front and the rear. And I like to always suggest for you guys to, because that's what we do, we actually overlap the front and the rear. It just makes the material hold on to the board long term, so and it doesn't look that nice when you cut it straight to the edge anyway. You'll see all the cuts, and if it's not a straight cut line, you'll see just where you've cut. So we started by, once the headlining board was all into location up in the underneath the pillars, we started by putting those location little plugs at the back to line up the back section. And now we're just going to make sure the wiring harness is fed up the front, out of the way of where all the components got to go, because you don't want to have any screws hitting the wire. So the wiring on these cars runs right along the front, so up the A pillar, along the front, and then towards the center console. and you just make sure that everything's all clear there, because there is a wiring that goes to that map lights as well. You want to make sure that on the passenger side it's clear too. Plug in those sun visor plugs, and if they sit in without the screws, well then you know that the wiring's pretty much not sitting there as well, because if they keep popping out and you're plugging them back in and they pop out again, well it's not seated right. So normally they pretty much hold themselves in without any screws, and then you pretty much know that you've lined it up all well and good. So like on most cars, guys, just be aware when you install the sun visors on the driver's side, because that's majority of the time that's where you're going to cross paths with the wiring harness that runs up the A pillar. And you're just going to make sure that it's out of the way of the screws. So just make sure your door sills are all seated correctly, and if your headlining board was the style that had the rear view mirror wiring harness that goes to it, just make sure that that was all plugged back in as well. You don't want to forget that. And if you did have that on the removal stage, well then you would have to unplug the wire that goes to the rear view mirror before you drop down the headlining board. Otherwise, if you leave it connected, just the weight of the headlining board could snag too much on the rear view mirror and just completely tear it from the windshield, or just, you know, cause damages you don't want. Check the lights and make sure everything's working, because we're pretty much nearing the end now, because we've fired in all the screws at the front, so all the lights are working well. We're gonna just finish off putting all the components back on. There's a couple of coat hanger hooks at the back here, so just make sure that those are all plugged in, and we've got a grab handle left here, guys, and that's pretty much will bring us to the end. So if you found this video helpful today, guys, just make sure you give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment maybe, and also hit that subscribe button to help our channel grow. And also I do invite you guys just to take a scroll through our description below, because that's where any additional content and updated info regarding what we've gone over today, and also any of our latest products and recommendations, they will all be made available below. So yeah, now we're just going to go ahead and give this headlining board a bit of a clean. Also below in the description, guys, is a donate button, so if you're feeling quite generous and you want to chuck us a few bucks, that'd always be much appreciated if you just follow the link and just yeah, do that, because these videos that we're doing these days are going to be all completely free on YouTube, and they're not tied into any you know, paid packages really. They're just basically what we're filming for our employee, and we thought, hey, why not make it available for you guys? So we're just giving you everything that's involved in removal and reinstall of all these different cars. So hopefully you find all these future content videos that are coming up really helpful. We just finish off by using an upholstery skewer to tidy up the headlining board. Also, after a few warm days, the fabric's going to expand and give off a cleaner finish. We noticed there was a couple of marks above the sunglasses console that we got to clean off. We come back to this car anyway later on, because we are going to now move on to the other three that are remaining, because we drove out to York Peninsula today at Wallaroo and we had all these Ford Falcons to do. So just going to finish off this one. It's a nice sunny day today, but it was a bit windy, so just keep in mind that when you do take out headlining boards and it's windy, just keep a bit of weight on them in case they take off like a kite. So it's an important tip. Anyway, we'll see you on the next video. See ya.